Hey, this is James Glass, and I'm here working in my tiny home tonight, and I just installed this 36-inch fiberglass shower assembly, and I wanted to talk a little bit about putting mortar underneath the shower pan to support it, and why you do that. So I have put mortar all the way around, and I'll go down in just a minute and show you, but I put mortar all the way around this so that anybody that's standing in the tub, their weight will be distributed from the fiberglass shower to the mortar and then down to the floor. So that whole pan is fully supported and it won't move around, it won't flex. And the reason you want to do that is because if you get too much flex in the bottom, particularly on cheap tubs or really large surface area tubs, you can get damage and leakage. So you can bust up your drain assembly. That drain assembly has silicone on the top and a rubber gasket underneath, but the truth is if you get a lot of flex you can bust that seal and get leakage there. And the other thing that can happen is if you get a lot of flex because your shower pad's not adequately supported, is you can actually get cracks in the tub or shower itself. So to make sure that that doesn't happen, I always use mortar underneath. So what I do first is I cut the hole in the subfloor so I can come back later and hook my P-trap up. I put my drain assembly in, and everything is nice and level. You can see that I've got the shower exactly where it needs to be. I followed the manufacturer's instructions on how to install the shower. See, it's nice and level, and nice and level. And then I went ahead, I dry fit everything. I had to make a custom shim in the back per the manufacturer's instructions. It's supported between that custom shim and this front curb. And then once I got everything exactly where I wanted, I moved the shower out of the way. I mixed up my mortar as dry as possible. I placed the mortar all the way around, kind of in a circle. In this case, it was kind of a not quite full circle because the shim is in the back. And then I set the shower assembly down into the mortar bed. And the reason you want to make it as dry as possible, you want to make that mortar super dry, is you've got, let me get a light here and show you how dry it is. The reason you want it dry is that it won't shrink. So if you use too much water in your mortar mixture, just go get some mortar at the hardware store. The 60-pound bag of mortar is like $5. We'll just add water. The reason is if you make it too, there's the mortar underneath that I have set in there. If you make it too wet, you'll get shrinkage, and you'll actually get a gap between the bottom of the shower fiberglass or acrylic unit and the mortar, and you won't. It's useless. You're not actually going to be carrying the load of the weight of whoever's in the shower from all the way to the subfloor, from the shower pan to the subfloor. So making this dry will keep it from shrinking, and you will be able to carry the weight of whoever's showering all the way down in. By the way, there's my custom shim in the back that the manufacturer wanted installed, and I used some 2x4s and some OSB, and that's how I got it level. But yes, so use your mortar underneath your fiberglass or acrylic shower. I love it. It's a great way to support the bottom of that pan and make sure it never flexes so you don't get leaks and damage and cracks. Just make sure that you make that mortar as dry as you can, just wet enough that when you set the shower down into it, it just sort of squishes and fully supports everything. Hey, thanks for watching.